The new 2022 BYD E6 People Mover has been confirmed for Australia, and the wider range will be confirmed within the next 2 weeks. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Fantastic to have you here. Now, I'm really hoping to get 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Do you think it's possible? I don't know, but it'd be awesome if you could subscribe to the channel for me, and that will help boost my numbers. Now, BYD's 7-seat People Mover will launch as Australia's cheapest electric vehicle next month, but 15 examples are up for sale only. However, of course, BYD will be bringing more of them in after this initial allocation of 15. Don't fret if you missed out and you haven't already reserved one, because they will have already sold out, of course, within 24 hours, and this news has now been out for around about 21 hours. So by the time you see the video, they'll all be gone. However, don't worry, more will be coming towards the end of this year. Now, the crazy news is you can get a 7-seat People Mover EV for 40,000 Australian dollars. Now, you Americans, that's $30,000 for a 7-seat People Mover. $30,000. Now, if you were in this market, you'd have to consider one of these. You'd seriously have to consider one. The crazy thing is, it also comes with a 70 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate blade battery. 70 kilowatt hour lithium iron blade phosphate battery. Now, that is not a small battery. It's actually quite a big battery. And for the money, 30,000 US dollars. This is an unbelievable price. I cannot understand. I honestly cannot understand. I was having this conversation with a friend today. How can BYD sell these cars so cheaply? I mean, BYD is selling the Yen Pro for just over or just under 11,000 US dollars. It's a SUV, 4.4 meters in length, just under 11,000 US dollars. I honestly struggle to see how anyone in the market can compete based on these prices with BYD. Obviously, BYD is vertically integrated. They make the batteries themselves, the cells themselves. They make pretty much everything in the car themselves. So that's one of the key reasons why BYD can make these cars so cheaply. But still, it's still shocking. It's still shocking to me, because the crazy thing is battery cell prices are going to continue to decline over the next decade significantly as we see ramping up of these vehicles. As BYD start to sell more and more of these cars, they're going to be able to build them even cheaper. Now, the Australian distributor for BYD announced the all-new 2022 BYD E6 People Mover to the local market yesterday. And remember, this vehicle isn't using BYD's old tech. This is BYD's new electric skateboard, has their new blade battery, which is pretty much impervious to fire. If you have a bad crash, the car isn't going to catch fire. There's been no reports that I've heard of at all of these battery packs catching fire. So it's a very safe vehicle on that level as well. And remember, the other benefit of a lithium iron phosphate battery is that you get very, very little degradation in the battery, and you can charge them more than 10,000 times before you start to see any battery degradation. So you're talking like over 1 million kilometer battery here. The car is going to break down and die before the battery does. Then when it does, you could sell the battery pack or use it yourself for home storage. And that's what a lot of people do with Teslas right now, because it's very common with Tesla vehicles as well that the battery lasts longer than the car, for whatever reason that may be, maybe crashes or anything else, doesn't matter. Have a look on eBay. Have a look at how many Tesla batteries have been sold, literally tens of thousands. Now, with deliveries of the BYD electric vehicle promised to begin before the end of August 2021, this price makes it the cheapest EV in Australia, bar none. And the crazy thing is, it's got a bigger battery pack than cars costing way more money than it, bigger battery pack, and it's twice the size of something like a Nissan Leaf that costs $15,000 more. Amazing. Now, interestingly, this BYD People Mover is based largely on the Chinese market petrol-powered BYD Song Max 7-seater, and it derives power from a 70 kilowatt electric motor mounted on the front axle. That's just about 100 horsepower. Energy comes from the aforementioned 70 kilowatt hour lithium ion blade battery pack, lithium iron phosphate, and it has a claim range of 400 kilometers. Real world range will probably be about 300 kilometers, but that's still much better than the MG sort of mid-sized, small-sized SUV, which costs $46,000 in Australia. It's way cheaper than that car. It's way bigger and has a much bigger battery pack and will have a longer range. You can see incredible value. Now, pricing and specs for the brand's wider range said to comprise at least 4 distinct models. Well, as far as I can tell, it's actually going to be 6 models. BYD will release 6 models in Australia before the end of the first quarter in 2022. And that includes the under $35,000 EA1 hatchback, or otherwise now known as the BYD Dolphin, which is a video, I'll put it in the link below, to BYD Dolphin's interior and exterior and the specifications of the Dolphin. It's a really cool car. I'm going to order one. And honestly, guys, I've done a lot of research on the market and I'm really, really looking forward to getting one. Now, currently, you can order a BYD T3 commercial van for only $35,000. And Luke Todd, the CEO of Nextport, who is the distributor for BYD in Australia, said that you can order those within the next 2 weeks. $35,000 for a utility van, full EV. Incredible value there too. Now, the CEO here in Australia said they've received extremely high levels of interest, and this has caused them to evaluate potentially bringing even more models than first planned. Now, I personally mentioned to him that there was enormous interest, and I believe they're going to sell at least twice as many vehicles as they initially planned. Now, they said they're going to sell 30,000, and I've told them that I think they can sell 100,000 vehicles here in Australia if they bring them here. So hopefully, based on the interest from you guys here on the YouTube channel, I know that some of you have been contacting them. Send them emails, guys. Get in contact, because honestly, if you want one of these cars, really, it's going to be tough to get one. There's going to be so much demand for these vehicles at the prices they're going to be sold at that we need to bring more stock in. And obviously, BYD needs to know you guys want to buy them so they can ramp up production. So if you send them an email, get in contact, let them know that you're interested, then hopefully we can get more stock here, which means more of us, ordinary people, can afford a really well-priced EV and get into this market in one of these cars. Now, the CEO has said, therefore, we are bringing a very small batch of the next generation E6 to the Australian market to test the appetite for a multi-purpose vehicle. Well, I don't think that's actually true, guys. I think what's happened is BYD's basically given them, they only got 15 now, so they've given them to them and they've said we can bring you more in later in a few months or whenever it is. So that's what I think's happened here. Now, Nextport, which is the distributor for BYD, has set some really ambitious goals for BYD in Australia, and I believe BYD in the UK. They're claiming the little-known brand will be a top 5 manufacturer in Australia within the next 2 years. Now, this would require BYD to outsell Kia, Hyundai, Nissan, Subaru, Volkswagen, and MG before 2024, which I guarantee will happen. Now, there's a lot of people in the comments on the caradvice.com.au website, it's the most popular car website in Australia, saying BYD are dreaming, they've got no chance of being a top 5 car seller in Australia. Now, I wish I could bet. In fact, I've offered a few of them to bet against them. Well, even some sort of friendly wager, it doesn't matter. But my point is, BYD at these prices will absolutely dominate any market they go into. You can guarantee that will happen. It doesn't matter whether that's the United States, Australia, Canada, the UK, Europe, it doesn't matter. They sell their cars at these prices in any country, they will definitely dominate that market very, very quickly. Now, I know personally, a lot of friends, a lot of people I know, a lot of people online are queuing up to buy one of these cars. There's enormous interest at these prices. I honestly don't understand how BYD's able to do it, but it's awesome they are. It's only 2021. Just imagine the prices that EVs are going to be in 2025, 2030. It's going to be incredible. And it's going to be such an opportunity for so many people that could otherwise never have afforded a decent car. Thanks for watching the channel. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.